But the number one takeaway from this huge game is that I suck. I still suck after all these years. I suck. Hello everyone, Lexitan Gaming back again with another video, and today is the start of a brand new series. And I thought of calling this one the Unstoppable Backlog. I'm basically just going to be talking about the games I've been playing for the last month or so. Trying to finish them, trying to get them up my backlog so I can get more games in and get them back in the backlog. It is a vicious cycle. But it's just a chance to talk. Down in the comments, let me know what you're playing this month or the last couple of months, what you've finished. It's just a chance for me to see what you guys are doing and for you to see what I'm doing if you're at all interested. Or to see what I'm not doing, because you're gonna see that I haven't got a lot of time to play these games. And yes, there's going to be a few on here that I haven't gone back to in the last month or so, but they're on here because I have been playing them at some point, and I am going back to them fairly soon. Now, before we get into it, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. I am busting my ass to try and get some, hopefully, entertaining videos out to you, and my subscribers count it's not what I want it to be. That's not me saying I think I deserve more. I just would like more. So if you haven't, please consider it. I would very much appreciate it. And of course, leave a comment down below. Give it a like if you like the video in the end. It would mean a lot to me. Okay, to start the video and start it strong, I thought we would begin with Paper Mario, the Thousand-Year Doors Remaster on Nintendo Switch. Wow. I'd heard of this game, obviously, way before it was remastered for the Switch. From a gamer's point of view, of course, I'd heard of all the great reviews, and I'd heard that it's the best Paper Mario game. Some even saying that it's better than Super Mario RPG. I pulled a face there, but I think I'd probably be in that category, personally. And now, from a collector's viewpoint, this is not a game you would see very often out in the wild for the GameCube, what it originally came out on. And you know, you couple that with it being pretty bloody good, and the price is gonna reflect it. And like I said, it's on the GameCube. It's like a magnet for expensive games nowadays. So yeah, to see it remastered on the Switch, it was a no-brainer. I had to get it, and I had to play it, and I am really enjoying it. The off-the-cuff humour, the active turn-based battle system, and for a Mario game, the story. The story really stands out. Those aspects are all big parts of the game. A game I heard so much about for all those years. I've actually been taking my Switch into work and playing it on my lunch break, so yeah, I know I'm 100% in the last area now. I'm there. I'm probably right at the final boss. So eventually it will leave the ever-growing backlog, and I will be sad to see it go. Alan Wake 2. Okay, so I'm having a little break from Alan Wake 2. Oh, I will finish it one day. It's a really fun game, and no, it's not. It scares the absolute fucking shit out of me. The story, with it being between two characters, Alan and Saga, trying to find their way through the same story, it's just great storytelling. He said story in it, and I'm over halfway, which usually means I've got to finish it. Well, in my head, I've got to finish it, and I want to. Kind of. I'll tell the story one day of why horror games, horror in general, isn't my kind of thing. I will tell the story, but for now, just know, I think Alan Wake 2 is great. I just need to get past being a big old puss. I finished Until Dawn and Resident Evil 4 earlier in the year, so just give me a break. I'll do it at some point. Okay, so the next one I don't have a physical copy of. I know. Because it's Mario Kart World. I will get it one day, I just can't spend that much money on it right now, like. It's an amazing game. Who knew after all these years that Mario Kart could still be so innovative and creative? Was everyone kind of like me? You know, when you think about the new Mario Kart come out, you think of updated visuals, some new characters, slightly smoother gameplay, some new tracks, and yeah, that would have been fine. But instead, we got Mario Kart World. Look, I haven't played a hell of a lot, but from what I have played, it's a contender to be one of the best Mario Karts, if not the best Mario Kart ever made. Don't think Mario Kart Wii will ever be replaced, for me. And I don't know why. Back to World though, yeah, everything feels so fresh. Like, even the smaller things, such as finding new character costumes while you're racing. New character costumes in general. Obviously, I love the additions of wall riding and grinding on the rails as well. Not that I'm any good at it. Anyone else watch those compilations and just go, yeah, not a chance. No chance can I do that. The free roam mode is a wild thing on paper, but to be honest, I got bored of that pretty quickly. The new Knockout Tour, which is essentially Battle Royale for Mario Kart. A continuing race on an interconnected map in which the last 4 players are then eliminated, I think is a fantastic addition to an already world, do you get it, renowned series. But the number one takeaway from this huge game is that I suck. I still suck after all these years. I suck. Now then. Suikoden. Suikoden? I'm gonna say Suikoden. I don't know if that's right. Anyway, Suikoden. Specifically a remaster of Suikoden and Suikoden 2. A couple of classic turn-based RPGs that originally came out on the PlayStation. Just like Paper Mario earlier, it's a remaster of a game that I've heard a lot about. Just talking about the first game here, I'm about 10 hours in, because as you can tell so far by this list, I am juggling a lot of things around right now. And this one's taking a back seat until I finish the Thousand-Year Door. But so far, I think it's great. It's right, here's the thing. I may have ruined this game for myself. No, it's nothing to do with spoilers or anything like that. It's actually to do with the sequel that's included with the remaster, Suikoden 2. So I thought that a great YouTube idea would be a video of me experiencing the first 2 games in the franchise for the first time. Something like playing Suikoden 1 and 2 for the first time ever in 2025. Very original. And I decided to kind of do the first few hours of each game and then share my thoughts, put it into a nice little bow and give it to you. And that was a mistake. That was a big mistake. And I should have known, because I definitely heard rumblings that the second game was better than the first. But I didn't pay too much attention to it. And I played the opening to the first game and I thought, yeah, it was nice. A nice little start to an RPG. Obviously it'll build up and get better and better, which it has so far, to be fair. And then I played the opening to the second and it gripped me. It really, really gripped me, and I thought that it was fantastic, and all I wanted to do was play more, and I knew that I couldn't. I had to play the first one first. It's just that's what I have to do. In my brain, it wouldn't let me play the second one first, because if I'd have done that, I'd have never gone back to the first one. And I know that. I know that's how my brain works. And again, I don't want it to sound like I do not like Suikoden. I really do. I think it's great. I've just had the second one hanging over me like a dark cloud, and it's just there taunting me, saying, you'd rather play me. And I would. I know I bloody would. But yeah, who knows? By the end of each, I might prefer the first one. So we don't know. But I am enjoying the first, and I did enjoy the second, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, and if you're wondering about that video, it is absolute dog and will never be seeing the light of day. And next we have, for the PS5, Astro Bot. Taken aback by this one was me. I was taken aback by this one. One hell of a 3D platformer in an era where we don't really see much of them anymore. Especially if you're looking at anything outside of Nintendo. And it felt like a throwback, to be honest, like a love letter to a lot of the 3D platformers of old. Definite inspiration drawn throughout, but it wasn't straight up theft. Like, it definitely has its own identity and all that. I'm not trying to say that. But that is what I took from it. It took me back to those days, and it's a hell of a game. The platforming in itself was masterfully done, in my opinion. The level design was off the charts, and the music is stuck in my head as I'm talking about it. That is what you want from from a game like this. It doesn't need to have an intricate story or to be really deep and emotional and all these different levels. It needs to be fun. Astro Bot epitomizes just that. Even if I'd miss just one bot from the entire level. Spider-Man. Pretty much the only superhero franchise that I play, and what a series to choose. I loved the first one on PS4. Miles Morales was even better, especially story-wise. And then this, Spider-Man 2. I haven't finished it just yet. Shocker. I've got about 20% left of the game to go, and wow. I put it off for a while when it first came out, and the missus kept telling me how good it was, and for the first time ever, she was right about something. Introduction of Harry. Now that's a nice and healthy young chap. Switching between Miles and Peter. Obviously, traversal across the map being insanely fun and unique compared to any other game. Another aspect that I loved was playing as MJ, having to sneak around a lot more, be more tactical. I think it really adds to the game as a whole to make it a different kind of experience. The fighting in general is great, but as Venom, oh my god. And so far, all the boss battles are epic. And I do think Kraven is a great antagonist, up there with Lee from the last one. I'm not sure where it ends up though, so no spoilers, please. I don't want any. I've stayed away from them up until now, so I don't need to know. Like I said, I haven't finished it, but I am very close to it, and I might even finish it before this video comes out. Just cross my fingers that no one dies and Venom just goes away peacefully, and I'm hoping that's not just wishful thinking. And lastly, the final game we're going to talk about today is Donkey Kong Bananza. Yep. Wow. I haven't dived deeply into this yet. It's, come out a couple of weeks ago, but wow. And so far, this is probably the best platformer I've played since Mario Odyssey. I know we just talked about you. You're a close third. Bananza just has that Odyssey feel about it, and so it should. It's made by the same studio, on the same engine, and that can only be a good thing. I am so glad that Donkey Kong is getting more love in a 3D environment like this. The first time since Donkey Kong 64, which was like 25 years ago. And I'm assuming we won't have to wait that long again if these reviews are anything to go off, because they are insanely positive. And going off what I've played so far, they are justified. The characters, the platforming, and the humour is what's getting this game off the shelves, and getting them off the shelves quick. I'm just so excited to bury my head further into it. Well, that's a lot of games. A lot of unfinished games. So, thanks for watching. I'm going to go check some of these amazing titles off my backlog list. Cheers.